Well, I think I've just been waiting to play basketball for a really long time now. You go through the preseason games, you go through a lot of training camp. It's been a few weeks now. I think you're just itching to get out there and really play like a real game. That's going to count towards your record. But I feel like I have a better understanding of how everything works, a better understanding of what to expect when you get in the game, when you get in these environments. I've played in this arena for a year now, so I think just relying on the experience of playing here for a year, but also this is going to be this team's first time playing together too. So there's going to be a learning curve there and a challenge that's presented, and it's not everything's going to be perfect. Just got to play through it, play through the mistakes. That's what Coach Steph talks about all the time. So, just learn and go out there and compete and get the win.
From the outside, this team looks a lot different. There's a lot of new faces on this year's team. There's more expectations for a deeper run in the postseason. Do you feel that from the inside too? There's maybe a different feel for this year compared to last year?
I always expect to win, whether it's last year or whether it's this year. I think last year, our goal was getting back to the playoffs. So coming in here as a rookie, that's kind of what we were expected to do. And then, this year our front office made a lot of really great changes to be able to put this roster together and construct a team that can really win now if we, do everything the right way. But, it's a long season. It's 44 games. It's going to take a lot of time. And then once you get to the playoffs, that's when you need to be playing your best basketball. So in our locker room, we expect to win championships, and, that's what we're going to try to do.
Is there anything you did or thought about last year going into your season opener that you're changing this year with the knowledge of doing?
Honestly, I don't even really remember season opener last year. Maybe that's a good thing. I think just going out there and having fun and being confident. And, I've been in this league for a year now. I know I belong. I know I can perform, and I know I can make my teammates better every single night, and that's my job. So just being confident in that and, coming out here and doing, not everything's going to be perfect. Give yourself grace. There's going to be really good moments. There's going to be moments where you struggle. So just trying to stay as neutral as I can and stay positive. But I think just being confident and, I've been in these moments before and I'm ready for them.
Before last season, I think you had a lighthearted moment goal to put just smile, this chaos smile. Is that the message again, or what have you thought about going into this?
Yeah, I think I play my best basketball when I'm having fun. So that's certainly my goal, and I feel like that's when I began to play really good basketball last year too, is when I just was relaxed and having fun and playing my game and getting my teammates involved, getting the crowd involved. I think smiling goes a long way, not only for your teammates that are looking at you and watching you as a leader on the court, but also for myself. That's a stress reliever too. So, just smile and have fun. That's always what I try to remind myself. That's the reason I play this game every single day, is because I love it. Why else would you do it if you didn't love it? So just remind myself of that.
One thing that Leo was saying is that players, you can't really get too caught up in rivalries. But
Yeah.
Fans now love this rivalry, Chicago and Indiana, because of the geographic closeness. What do you think it means to have rivalries like that in the game that people kind of extra look forward to?
Yeah, I think rivalries are good for all of sports. I grew up, and whether it was the high school football team that my grandpa coached, playing their rival, I grew up not liking the rival high school, even though I was 5 years old. That was just because what my family did. So rivalries are real, and that's what makes sports so amazing. There's certain teams that those games just mean a little bit more. So I think for our team though, you come out here and you play the same way every single night, but I think it gets the fans involved and they love it. And I think it's a great part of sport, is having those rivalries that people get really amped up about and love coming in this arena and cheering for.
Is there any correlation between your first game as a freshman in college and your first game as a sophomore and your first game as a pro? And then, because it seems to me like it's a world of difference coming in your second year as a pro.
I think it's you show up in a new chapter of your life is all right, well, you're trying to prove to yourself, you're trying to prove to everybody that you belong, and you're trying to find your way, you're trying to earn your spot and earn your minutes. So I think when you come into your second season, whether, it's in college or whether it's professionally, or even if it's really in high school, you belong, what the coach expects of you, teammates, how things operate. You just have a different sense of confidence about you. And, you know how to respond when, you know, things don't go your way, and you know how to, you know, appreciate the really good moments and still learn from those too. So for me, I think just in the second year is just the confidence of, you know, what I was able to do in year one. And by no means is it going to be the same. Like, you don't want it to be the same. It's a different team. You're going to create a new identity, and we're going to create a new culture, and hopefully be able to win more and hopefully perform better. But, you know, every year is going to be different. Every game is going to be different. So I think just rely on the confidence of, you know, being in similar moments.
It seems like the WNBA can present a lot of learning opportunities for any player. I don't know, for you in the offseason, if there's anything that sticks out as something you really learned about yourself. I don't know if, like, kind of having to deal with a preseason injury, if that's something you feel like you had to learn something about yourself through that.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think becoming a pro is where you learn a lot. And, you know, I could have gone through this whole offseason and not done anything. Like, that's just the reality. Like, there's not a team lift scheduled on your phone in the middle of the summer. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, you're a professional. Like, you make your calendar, you make your schedule, you make your routine, you make your workouts, and, you know, you have to be diligent in that. And I think, you know, I'm one of those players that loves to know I'm getting every single thing done. So I think it's just having discipline, and I feel like that's what I've always had in my life, and that's a skill like not everybody can have all the time. So I feel very fortunate of the coaches, the mentors, the other teammates that I've had that have held me accountable throughout my life. Like, once you become a pro, like, these are the things that really matter. You have to act like that. You have to, you know, be accountable in January to your teammates now. Like, what are you doing in January to be better for the moments like tomorrow?
What were the motivations or things you were thinking about during those 8 a.m. workouts when it's, you know, in the dead of winter?
I think for myself, like, I know there's so much room for me to improve. Like, that's always what I remind myself. And for me, it's like, I don't really have to find motivation to get in the gym. Like, sure, like, I mean, I can be motivated that we, like, made it to the playoffs and lost both games, but, like, I love it. Like, I crave wanting to be better. I know I can get a lot better. Like, I don't think I've arrived by any means. I don't think I'm at the peak of my game yet. So it's just like, you know, grinding for those moments and being consistent. Like, if you do it once a week, like, that's never going to show up all summer long. So just being consistent and having a routine and continue to do it over and over. So when we get into moments in, you know, September and October, those things really shine.
Caitlin, what you've seen from this team in the preseason, has it only heightened your expectations or justified expectations for this team?
I mean, I think it's, you know, my expectation is the same of us winning championships, but, like, when I take the court tomorrow, that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about one possession. I'm thinking about one quarter. I'm thinking about how can I put my teammates in positions to be successful. Like, if you're thinking so far down the road, or if you're thinking even to the next game, like, that's a disservice to your teammates. That's a disservice to the fans here. It's, you know, what can we do every single possession to win this game? So that's what I'll be thinking about. And, you know, the long-term goal always remains, but it's what are you going to do every single day to achieve that.
The time crunch that you all had last year trying to pick up things on the fly.
I mean, I still feel like it was a time crunch, and I feel like it's still, the timing is still kind of close together, but I think being able to have 3 preseason games helped a lot. You kind of work through everything a little bit quicker, so I think having 3 was pretty great for us. But I mean, we're excited going into the season once again. It's just a brand new season, so for us, it's just about having fun.
In what ways do you feel like having depth this year will be advantageous, especially given how fast and quick you guys want to play? You can get fresh bodies in there frequently.
Yeah, our depth is going to be very crucial for us. I think everyone being able to step on the floor at any moment during the game is going to be special, especially now that we have more games this season. We'll have on back-to-backs, being able to recover, but also know that you don't have to play the full 40 minutes because you have a great amount of people coming in right behind you.
This has turned into a heck of a fun rivalry, and I know as players you kind of have to just approach every game the same, but geographically, the closeness and everything, what does that rivalry mean to you guys as players and fans?
I think it means a lot more to fans as the rivalry. I think everyone in their fan bases just going kind of against each other. Most of it happens obviously on social media for them, so I think they kind of enjoy it. But for us, I mean, you can't put one team above another. And so we come in with the same focus for every game, being mentally ready, mentally tough, because we know every single time it's going to be a competition.
I mean, where do you think this team has improved over last year? Now that you've seen through the preseason and practices, how much better is this team?
I think it's better in just the way that we are able to be connected pretty early on. Like, I think being able to see throughout the 3 preseason games the way that we've been able to get a little bit better each and every game, whereas last year I think our start was just pretty rough, and so our connectivity on the court was just super hard. Like, I think being, especially once again, Caitlin came in and that change of pace that she plays with, I think was a lot different, especially for me coming in my rookie season. And so now it's like, you go into the off season, you've played with Caitlin for a year and everyone else and Kelsey, and like, hey, this is how fast we're going to play, this is how you prep. And so being able to have that mindset coming in, I think has helped a lot.
What did the home game become last year in terms of atmosphere and what you kind of expect tomorrow?
I mean, I expect a loud, amazing crowd. I think we saw that all our home games last year. And that's what I think I love about the fans here is that they come out, they're loud. They support us no matter what time of game it is, no matter the score, they are loud, and we appreciate that so much.
You're going against a team that also looks a lot different. I know you guys are focused on yourselves, but going into it, how much are you looking at film of last year or film of their preseason games? How much stock you putting into it?
Yeah, honestly, you can't look at any film from last year. I think just looking at their preseason games, you're able to just see, I think they have done a great job bringing wings in on the outside that pass the ball well into the post and can also shoot the three. And so for us, I mean, you just have to be ready at every position because you can't look anyone off. You can't be in the paint guarding anyone. And so for us, once again, it's just being ready, making sure we're connected, especially in that defensive end. And offensively, we just do what we do.
Lexi, what's your overall takeaway from the fun All-Star weekend?
I mean, so grateful. I think all of us were proud to represent the city, proud of the event that they put on. Just happy that we were able to host such an amazing event.
How do you move forward now? It's the second half of the season, a lot of work to do. What's the mindset?
It's a whole nother level of focus. The second half, all these games mean a lot. We're chasing, to put ourselves in a good position heading into playoffs. So we're taking every day really serious, locking in on every scout, every game. I'm not taking any day too easy.
Steph was talking about before All-Star break, just being consistent and getting healthy, and you guys still aren't fully healthy where you want to be. So how do you build that consistency right now when you don't have all the personnel you want?
Yeah, I mean, we've faced adversity all year already, so I think that's only helping us prepare for the end of this season. And obviously, not healthy right now, but I think the group that we have, we're resilient. We're working together, trying to figure out, the best way to position ourselves for success, and that's going to look different every night. But I think more than anything, we've grown together as a group. Our chemistry is getting better and better every day, so hopefully that translates on the court.
Maybe just your overall takeaways from All-Star weekend.
Yeah, I thought also it was super fun. Obviously super exhausting at the same time, but I thought we showed out. Like I said, the fans were amazing. Everyone that came here, just the environment was great.
Now you move forward, Liberty tomorrow.
Yep.
What did you guys work on today to make sure you can try to get some revenge after last week?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, just thinking about our last game, we just didn't let them feel us too much, honestly, throughout the game. Obviously, I think our start, we kept it really close, and then they kind of just were able to move the ball and do a bunch of stuff that they wanted to do. And so for us, just make sure that we keep that defensive intensity up, and then that'll translate on the offensive end as well. Yeah, I mean, we just have to stay focused on us again, those that are able to play next person up. We just have to make sure that we continue to pour into each other because, hey, we know the season's not going to be perfect. Everyone's not always going to be healthy at the same time, and that's kind of how it's been for us this season. And so for us, it's once again not getting down, not letting that hold us down, but make sure that the next person up, and when we step on that floor, we're ready to go.
What's your message as one of the team leaders to when Caitlin is out to make sure you all remember, hey, we want the commissioners to keep it without her on the floor?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just our mindset. Our approach every single day is for us that are on the floor. We just have to make sure we are pouring into each other. We are working hard and we're doing what we can because obviously we've played together. We've played without Caitlin in the lineup and obviously we played with her. And so for us to just make sure that we do every single thing, each possession, and not take a possession off, especially against a Liberty squad that can make you pay for any mistakes.
Obviously, with Caitlin on the floor versus with Caitlin off the floor, just how does that change the offense for you and just in general?
I think it changed the offense a little bit, and where some teams are going to be a little more back depending on matchups on the floor, but also I think we space the floor really well. Everything changes when we hit shots. I think, we come out, start this next game, hit some shots, it's going to open up the floor a lot. And obviously Caitlin's a fantastic passer, but I think we figured out once again different ways to get everyone that needs to touch the ball and when and where. And so we just continue to trust our offense and let it flow.
All right, just one last final question about All-Star Weekend. How much did you guys love having that in the city and just enjoying now that you've had some time to reflect on everything?
I think that Indy did a really great job, just across the board. When you live here
in market for the season. You see it every day. But for that weekend, I was like, oh, that was different. That's new. I like that. So overall, they just did a really great job of like keeping everybody kind of like having fun, made it a family environment. I know my family and friends came, so to know that the Fever made like festivities for like family, I thought that was pretty dope.
Now you shift to the second half of the season. What's the mindset of this team, the vibe right now, heading to Liberty tomorrow?
I think that the second half, a lot of teams make adjustments. So you want to be mindful of those adjustments. You want to make sure that you're adjusting as well. I think this is about grit now. So there's no more time. And so hopefully a lot of the L's that we took mentally, physically, literally, it's different. Hopefully that we looked at it for what it was and it don't happen again.
What kind of adjustments are you guys making?
I think just that defensive energy for the course of a whole shot clock. I think that just being mindful of personnel and knowing who we guarding. I think our coaches do a good job of telling us about the personnel. So I think for us to like continuously be great, we just gotta know who we guard.
How do you utilize that against Liberty specifically?
You gotta know your strengths. Sabrina's great. Stewie's great. JJ's great. The list goes on. But I think that you just gotta, for them, like make it tough as much as possible. They're gonna make some tough shots. They're great for a reason. So just gotta be in it regardless of what happens. But make it dirty and muck it up for them because we know how great they is. They make tough shots that, sometimes it just goes in, and so we got to make it difficult as much as possible.
With Caitlin out too, how important is it that you guys get a win to start off the second half?
I think I want to win regardless. Unfortunately, CC will not be around, but you got to want to win regardless. You look at these situations like it's unfortunate, but we got to keep playing for her and make sure that she knows that, we miss her, but we got to do right by ourselves as well.
Let's start to talk about stacking days and like getting consistency. Just how much of that is mental?
All of it. Like, I kid you not, like, it all is. Like, basketball is not physical anymore. It's like, the second half is about mentally, taking the reps for what they are and being able to adjust that I talked about in the second half. And I think that mentally, we have to feel like we deserve to be here. I think that early on, we kind of like do we belong? And I think that we got to feel mentally here that we belong. So I think mental is big for everything. You told me, right? I didn't know, but Tamika Catchings, I love her. So everything that she embodies, everything she's done, to be a part of the conversation and make one leap over her, just hope I don't mess it up.
I know you just talked yesterday, but has Caitlin met with the doctors? Do you guys have any update on Caitlin's status?
No updates. I think she's meeting with some doctors today and tomorrow. So no updates in addition to yesterday.
Yeah. Do you have any timetable that you're thinking of when she'll be back?
Not yet. And I don't presume to give any timetables. It's whatever the medical staff says. That's what I go by.
What's your message moving forward with the team, knowing that you need a battle to make it through the season and getting healthy? How do you rally those who are healthy to stack some wins here in the second half?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just we know what it's going to take, and we've got to be able to do that on a daily basis. We've got to continue to grow. We've got to understand that there's going to be disruption, and we've got to be able to handle that, which I think they've done a good job of. And we got to start, putting some things together. I think early, just learning how to win some of those close games, learning how to execute in some of those situations, and then late, it's mostly been our defense. How our defense goes is how we go. And so we've got to be disruptive. We've got to have a point of attack where we dictate instead of react, and we've got to do that consistently.
What was the biggest lesson you guys learned against Liberty last week that you can take into the game?
Yeah, I think. Look, that was the third game in 4 days. We're playing the team that won the WNBA championship a year ago, and they had it rolling. I think the biggest thing is we let them move freely early. Didn't take away any of their strengths early. Weren't quite as disruptive as we needed to be. And when you let a team like that get on a roll, it's really tough to stop and tough to come back.
With Jonquel Jones returning to Liberty too, how does that change your game plan versus last week?
Well, it changes how you play them. I mean, certainly, her ability with her size on the interior and what they look for from her and on the offensive end of the floor, her ability to pick and pop. So it changes some of our coverages. And then on the defensive end, it just, they're already long and athletic, and it just brings more size and physicality for AB. So finding different ways to get her loose is going to be important. Just to continue to build, come out with a sense of urgency, continue to build, continue to grow, making sure that we're putting ourselves in position for success on a nightly basis, and we play with a sense of urgency.
With Caitlin meeting Patrick State tomorrow, does that mean she's not going to be making the trip to New York?
No, she's making the trip to New York. Yep.